Two great TURs and super multi discounts are coming. But should you summon? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are taking a look at the Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Hirudegarn, now confirmed as the next two Dokkan Festival exclusives as part of a dual Dokkan Fest coming to Global Dokkan here for the month of April. And we are going to be answering that age-old question. Should you spend your hard-earned stones on one of these two TURs? As always, in order to answer that question, we're going to take a look at three things. Number one, we're going to take a look at the units themselves. Then we're going to take a look at their banners, right? No unit exists alone in a vacuum, so if we pull on that banner, are we getting something worth our stones, even if we don't happen to pull the main unit? And then finally, we'll take a look at what lies ahead. Should we decide to spend our hard-earned stones on one of these two units, what might we be giving up in the future? So let's go ahead. Let's start by taking a look at the units. So first up, we have the STR Super Saiyan 3 Goku. He is a movie hero's lead or final trump card for key 3, attack and defense 170%. He has an additional 30% for Super Saiyan 3 or Kamehameha. On this super attack, he is greatly raising the attack and raising defense for 1 turn, causing immense damage to the enemy. His passive gives him key 3, attack and defense 200% with a medium chance of performing a critical hit. He has a high chance of evading an enemy's attack, including super attack. He also has an additional attack 150% when performing a super attack, and an additional 159% and chance of performing a critical hit, and chance of evading an enemy's attack 20% as the second or third attacker in a turn. Alright, so that's up to 70% chance to evade as number 2 or number 3 in the turn. He also has an additional attack 159% and chance of performing a critical hit 50% when HP is 59% or less. He does have a 70% chance of nullifying unarmed super attacks directed at him. Now, in base, he is pretty good, right? He's got a pretty decent chance to evade, and his stats are no slouch, meaning even if you should not evade, the stats will more than likely, at the very least, protect him from some major normals he might receive. Supers might still catch him off guard depending on the boss, but he's going to be pretty alright in his base Super Saiyan 3 form. Now, he can standby. This standby can be activated 70% or less, or from the third turn from the start of turn. Or just 6 turns straight out. Once he transforms and goes into a standby mode, he's basically like a living counter. He's unable to attack until he activates his finished effect. He has attack and defense 333%. He has an additional attack 159%. For 1 turn from the start of turn, he has a 70% chance of evading an enemy's attack. And if HP is 59% or less, he has a chance of evading an enemy's attack 20 extra percent. So up to 90% if you are 59% or less when you activate this standby. He does foresee enemies super attack, and he gives all allies key 3 and defense 59%. And he has an additional 333% and evades enemies attack when the finish effect is activated. In order to activate the finish effect, he simply needs to counter the enemy's super attack, right? So you place him in front of a super attack, he will activate it. He will activate his finish effect, which will massively raise his attack, countering with tremendous power, and during the rest of this turn, all attacks will become critical hits. Pretty powerful skill. He's an excellent offensive unit, and this just gives him that little bit extra oomph on the offense. So pretty decent unit all in all. But let's compare him to the INT HIRUDEGARN, who is on the other banner, right? Because obviously we are talking about a dual Dokkan Fest here, and which one you should be spending your stones on. So Hirudegarn here is movie bosses or resurrected warriors, category key 3, HP attack defense 170%, and an additional 30% for legendary existence and transformation boost. He is raising defense infinitely when in his Phantom Majin form, And he activates instant animation upon the character's entry turn. He gives himself key 3 and attack and defense 100% with a high chance of performing a critical hit for 5 turns from the character's entry turn. He has attack defense 200% and an additional 100% when attacking. He has a 70% chance to evade enemies' attack and launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack within the same turn after evading. He also has an additional defense 10% with each attack evaded. So kind of like the UI Goku effect going on here to get some extra evasion. Now, he does have a transformation that can be activated from the 3rd turn from the start of turn if 70% or less HP, or starting from the 6th turn. Now, where he gets really interesting is once he transforms into his perfect form. Now he's greatly raising attack for the turn, so no longer is he defensive in that regard. He now has key 3 and attack and defense 250% plus an additional attack 150% when attacking. He has an additional attack and defense 100% and high chance of performing a critical hit as the first attacker on the turn. Launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack and has a great chance of evading enemies' attack, including super attack, and launches an additional attack that has a 50% chance of becoming a super attack within the same turn after evading an attack. He has an additional chance of evading an enemy's attack and chance of performing a critical hit 10% within the same turn with each attack evaded, including super attack and enemy's super attack upon entering the next turn every time he evades 3 attacks. So basically he starts out at 70% evade when you get to this point. For every 3 attacks he evades, you tack on another percent, right? So if he evades 3 attacks in slot 1, that will bump him up to 80%. Evades another 3 attacks, 90%. And I think another 3 after that, I think it bumps up to 100. If not, I think it does cap out at 90%. But even then, it's still a pretty high, a very high chance. I mean, you're almost never going to get hit unless you get really, really unlucky with this guy, which, I mean, I guess can happen. So all in all, you know, in a vacuum, looking at these units, they are worth your stones. Both of these are some of the few TURs from the previous year that are going to survive into and past the 9th year meta, just because of the way their kits are designed. The ability to dodge almost right away and make up the difference for their damage through their hidden potential system is very, very good. Dodge is a very powerful skill. I mean, not always perfect, but in this case where the characters are basically built to do that, both of these guys end up winning out. So I would definitely give them a thumbs up in the category of summon. But of course, as we said, these guys do not exist in a vacuum. They are on a banner, and is that banner worth it? So starting with the Super Saiyan 3 Goku banner, right? Goku's banner is going to return the last year's Golden Week unit, the INT Piccolo Jr., last year's New Year's unit, the Gohan, Tech Pan, AGL Cell, and 2 previous New Year's units. The Hirudegarn banner is almost exactly the same. It's going to back up here real quick. Right? Hirudegarn's banner is nearly identical, having the previous Golden Week unit, having the previous New Year's units, 1 filler DFE from 2023, and then, or 2022 rather, and then the previous Golden Week unit before that, and then the 2 previous New Year's units. It's a pretty standard lineup for these two now that we're returning to the regular format, not matching the Piccolo and Gohan format, right? So pretty standard. We're likely to see this as we continue forward, getting more TURs for New Year's instead of LR. So the question is the banner worth your stones? Well, I suppose really the answer to that question is whether or not you've picked up characters like World Tournament Goku, Piccolo Jr., Orange Piccolo, or Beast Gohan. All of these characters still have relevance in the 9-year meta. Not so much some of these others that are going to be on the banner here, like Pan or AGL Cell or even Goku. However, right, Beast Gohan having the STR counterpart be his best partner really gave rise to this guy. This guy still holds strong in the 9-year meta as long as you can finish the fights fairly quickly while he's still built up. Hirudegarn's banner, obviously Orange Piccolo having a slot on Gogeta and Beast Gohan's team for activating Beast Gohan's unit super, and, you know, still doing what Orange Piccolo does. World Tournament Goku, while still needing time to build, still very, very great, even in that 9-year content. As far as the rest of the banner goes, right, it's really the main ones that are going to hold value is probably this guy, the STR Kid Buu, and the Fizz Goku, and maybe Pikkon and Janemba. And I only say that is because now that Super Vegeta has EZA, that means any character from their years, for example, 2022, which is when Super Vegeta released, anybody between that and Pikkon's release is up for an EZA, which means Pikkon himself could be up for an EZA soon. So there could be some value there, but, you know, that might not happen for a while. So, I mean, realistically, the main ones you're looking at are this unit and these 2 units here, and then same thing on Hirudegarn. So, I mean, most players have probably picked these guys up for now, unless you, like, didn't summon at all last year. So I'm going to have to say that there's probably not much of value in the banner. Like, even for me, someone who summons on most of these banners, I mean, the only value I can get is dupes out of the previous New Year's units, just because, like, for example, my Orange Piccolo is only 69%. I would definitely need dupes of them. So honestly, the banners aren't that valuable for New Year's banners, especially when compared to how stacked they were last year with the Orange Piccolo and Gohan banners. So that is 1 in the category of summon for the units, and no in the category of summon for the banners. So what that leaves is for us to look at what lies ahead. If we choose to jump into this banner, what are we giving up in the near future? Well, first and foremost, we are giving up the Golden Week summons, right? Just 1 month after these banners, we're going to have the Golden Week banners show up. Last year, this was the Aim for the Top campaign with the Piccolo Jr. and World Tournament Goku, and you probably notice a lot of similarities between the 2 banners we just looked at. So realistically, knowing that the Golden Week banners are almost nearly identical, probably, you know, maybe steering clear of the previous banner, just because both Golden Week and the April Dual Dokkan Fest for Global will return during the worldwide celebration. So giving up, I mean, if you were to summon on one, right, like if it's these guys like Beast Gohan that you're missing, or Piccolo Jr., it may be better just to wait a month, because they'll be back then and you'll have more stones. The only thing you'll be missing is, say, Super Saiyan 3 Goku or Hirudegarn, depending on which banner you're going for. But you're definitely probably going to want to summon on this banner over the Super Saiyan 3 Goku banners. No matter who it is, it's going to be nearly identical in units, providing a post-9th anniversary meta unit, meaning whatever this unit is on either banner will be relevant to the 9th anniversary content versus Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Hirudegarn, which are good in the 9th anniversary content, were not really made for that meta, right? So moving past that, we will see in June, more than likely, the AGL First Form Frieza as the Dokkan Fest exclusive. Now, for this banner, this was the return of Piccolo and Gohan. For us on Global, because of the way things worked out in terms of summoning, this will probably return the INT androids, if anything, in terms of who's on the banner. It could be the Piccolo and Gohan, right? They may just keep it exactly the same, but they probably won't. Or actually, rather, this would probably return Super Trunks for Global, as the return for Super Trunks on JP was Android 21. So if it's not them, it'll probably be Super Trunks. I probably won't be Android 21. I have a feeling she'll be saved to return on like some random crossover banner that we get again at the end of the year. So this is the June Dokkan Festival. Like the others, probably not going to want to summon here, because this is literally the month before anniversary. You should be in full-on saving mode. Speaking of anniversary, right, we have 4 banners we're going to have to distribute our stones out through, right? You'll have the Broly banner, the Gogeta banner, the Gamma's banner, and the Beast banner. Most people are probably going to be saving their stones for Beast banner at the very end of the anniversary, but that's not to say that there isn't value in Broly or Gogeta. But what this does mean is that spending on any of these banners prior to that means you're giving up less stones to spread out across these 4 banners, and that's really probably where you want to be spending the bulk of your stones, just because, I mean, realistically, these units are that good. Broly is the best offensive unit in the game. Beast Gohan is far and away the best unit in the game for everything that he is doing for his team. He tanks, he hits hard, he does it all. Gogeta is no slouch either. His target skill, giving him guaranteed dodge, is such a helpful tool on all of his teams. So, can't really recommend even summoning, knowing what lies ahead, especially knowing that now at this point we are less than 3 months away from the start of Global's 9th anniversary. But there is one last thing we should consider. So we've got yes in the category for the unit, no in the category for the banners. There's a lot to be desired with those banners, but we're a bit stuck on what lies ahead. Well, maybe this might help, knowing that because this is the Dual Dokkan Fest for the month of April, we know that this is likely to follow a specific trend. All previous Dual Dokkan Fests that were New Year's and landed in April have both super multi discounts and Dokkan Festival tickets to be gained with each multi-summon. So not only can you pick up tickets for a price, as you summon through the banner, you will be able to pick up tickets just as well. So basically the way it'll work, more than likely, is that the first couple of steps may have some kind of stone discount, usually bringing the total down to about 100 or 110 instead of 150. And with each of these multis that you do, you'll gain Dokkan Festival tickets, usually 3 each depending on the banner, right? So Dokkan Festival A for Goku's banner, Dokkan Festival B for Hirudegarn's banner. And then on the 4th summon of that consecutive summon, you will get a free multi. Now, the free multi won't provide you tickets, meaning if you want to summon using those tickets, you'll have to do another rotation in order to have enough to do so. But that will basically continue. Usually these are done for about 3 steps, right? So you can do this a couple of times before it runs out and just resets to regular 50 stones. But you'll still be getting tickets with each one. So something worth considering, that, you know, there is possibly a way to pick it up without using too many stones, because you're getting extra summons thanks to these Dokkan Festival tickets. While the data download hasn't hit and confirmed it, we can all but guarantee, because Global hasn't missed a beat with these tickets. So, you know, something worth considering. So knowing all of that, to put it in context, again, we have no for the unit, or yes for the unit rather, and no for the banners. The banners just leave a lot to be desired. However, we have a consideration on what lies ahead, knowing that there is super multi-summon discounts and tickets. So what I'll say is this. I will tier my recommendation. If you are sitting above 1,000 stones, then I would say do no more than up to the step 8. That is 2 rotations. That'll get you 2 ticket multis, plus whatever you may pick up in the Baba shop for money. However, I don't believe anyone should go beyond that, no matter how many stones you have. Again, because of what we know is coming ahead. Golden Week, going to be very valuable, with a lot of the same units that are on these banners, but Anniversary also going to be incredibly valuable for all players, more so than these units are going to be. So you definitely don't want to be spending too much. If you are anywhere between 800 and 1,000, I would say go no more past than step 4. Yes, that means you won't have a full set of tickets. You can go on to step 5 if you want and get that last set of tickets, but I don't think you should go beyond that. Realistically, that's 150 stones, roughly 160, depending on how they break up the multi-summon discount cost, but it'll probably be anywhere between 110 and 160 stones. I don't think you should go anywhere beyond that. If you're anywhere between 8 and 800 and 1,000, because remember, our goal is 1,500 by the anniversary, and so the more we spend, the less we have at that point. So definitely want to say that if you're anywhere between 5 and 800, maybe do just the one rotation, but otherwise steer clear of the banner. Anything below 500, you should not be summoning on this banner at all. Consider racking up whatever stones you get from this celebration and saving them for Golden Week and or anniversary, because this is not the place you want to be blowing those stones. So we will leave it at that tier for us. I mean, obviously, if you're pay to play, low to play, do what you need to do to get the stones, to get the tickets, and make it happen. But for you free to play players out here, consider the advice. So, guys, that is it for our video. That is whether or not I think you should summon for Super Saiyan 3 Goku and or Hirudegarn, coming up as the next Dokkan Festival on Global Dokkan. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know, do you plan on summoning on Hirudegarn or Goku? We're curious to hear how much you plan on putting into this banner. Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.